What is up, YouTube? This is Viewtiful Joe bringing you another deck profile video. I know I said it, I know I promised it, and now I'm finally bringing it to you. This is my scrap deck profile, and this is what it looks like as of now, before the Primal Origins support comes out. I know they get a field spell, and I'm looking forward to that, which will make this deck gain a whole lot more speed and a whole lot more power. So, and I'm not saying the deck isn't powerful enough already. It's actually pretty toolbox. But in terms of like what the imagination can go in terms of how this deck looks, a lot of them are going to look a lot of the same. So, but this is mine, and I want to show it off to you guys because it is a little bit different. Because I run some interesting text that people don't exactly expect. We'll get into that right now. So this is what the deck looks like. So here it is. And I know it's been a while since I busted out this mat, so I wanted to stretch out its legs once again, because I did get my Viewtiful Joe mat, and I caught him in showing that one a little bit too much love. Give some love to the protagonists. And to Little Karibo, if you can see the signature still. Anyway, on to the video. 3 Scrap Beast, your go-to synchro tuner, your just tuner. If it's destroyed by a scrap card effect, add a scrap monster from your grave to the hand. Goblin does the same thing as Beast, but the first effect is it cannot be destroyed by battle, and then if it's attacked while face up, at the end of the battle it dies. So you can use his own effect to search for a monster in your grave, which in most cases for both Goblin and Beast will be Chimera. Chimera is your go-to synchro play. When it's normal summon, special summon either Goblin or Beast from your grave, because that's what it does. And then its condition only lets you synchro summon into Scrap Archfiend or Scrap Dragon, depending on if you summon Goblin or Beast, because Chimera's condition is it only allows you to synchro into Scrap synchro monsters. So it is what it is. You can still overlay into Scrap Beast if you really wanted to, and I'll show you one possible play you can do that when I get into the extra deck. 1 Golem. Once per turn, special summon 1 Scrap Tuner to either player's side of the field. It's actually pretty good. If you go into Scrap Dragon and you special summon your tuner on your opponent's side of the field and you pop with its effect, you still gain the little tuner's effect. So this is actually a really interesting card, and then you can synchro on your turn too. So it's very you have choices when it comes to this card. Onto the regular tech cards. Car. It's good for consistency, and it's an Earth target, and I'll get more into why I emphasize Earth targets later. Swift Scarecrow, stop OTKs, and it's an Earth target. Max Seas, Earth, and for drawing, speed up the deck a little bit. 2 Trag, to go into other possible synchro plays, steal a monster, or just set up a wall. Level Eater, because Level Eater plus Scrap Dragon is hilarious. I'll explain that later. 1 Gigantus, Earth target. It's really funny. People do not expect this when I play it. Banish 1 Earth target and you special summon it. And then if it's destroyed by battle, you destroy all spells and traps on the field. So it becomes a heavy storm when it leaves the field by battle. People do not expect this, and people play a little bit more carefully when this hits the field because they're like, oh crap, I don't want to lose back row. And this format is very much back row heavy. Lastly is Redox, and this is why I stress Earth targets, because, you know, Redox and all the other elemental dragons focus on their attribute and or dragon type monsters. I'll sort of go more into detail with combos you can do with Redox when I get more into the deck and extra deck. Next we have spells. 2 Scrapyard, 3's a little too much, it kind of clogs, especially with the new support coming out later. Add 1 tuner from your deck to hand, so it's basically Rhoda. 3 Scrap Storm, you kind of have to run 3, along with 3 Chimera, because Chimera and Scrap Storm equals continual hand advantage. Scrap Storm is target 1 of your scraps, send a scrap to your grave from deck, and draw a card, and then destroy the original, which means you want to combo this with your tuners, which is Beast or Goblin, because once you go through this, Goblin and Beast get their effects, and you recycle the Chimera that you constantly send to your grave. So you're constantly looping the same thing, because that's the go-to play. Because if you open this and a tuner, you're basically turn 2 Scrap Dragon. Duality for consistency. Dark Hole. Staple. MST for back row hate. 2 Lance and 1 My Body for protection. I used to run 2, it got in the way. My Body is basically like a mini Solemn Judgment. It's a good card. In some cases I'd maybe say 2. You can use these interchangeably, like side this and then keep these and then put this in for something else, or put these and then side these. But I used to run both and they ran perfectly fine, but this clogged, so it works fine the way it is now. 1 Mind Control, steal a monster, go Xyz or Synchro for something. Book to stop Xyz and Synchro plays. Soul Release, last spell. Really funny card. It hurts a lot of my friends' decks and they rage when I do it. Chaos Dragons, Dragon Rulers, Boojins, Prophecies. It hurts a lot of decks and people do not expect this coming. So when I play it, it is a really good card to have. People cite it. I main it for that very reason. Traps. 2 call to revive stuff, and I'll get more into how you can abuse this later. Breakthrough skill. I used to run 2. The second one got in the way. In other situation, I would recommend maybe 2, but I kind of ran out of space. But that's personal choice. Bottomless, Compulse, and Warning for staples. Extra deck. And I'm going to sort of go over this real quick because it's a lot of basic stuff. The extra deck is not exactly what I want it to be. I'm missing a few cards. So right now I got a lot of stuff that are like fill-in space. Once I get more of the stuff, the deck will be the way I want it to run, which means it'll be a little bit more of like, not OTK, but it'll definitely be kind of overpowered. But we'll start off with 3 Scrap Dragon. Since this is a scrap deck, people forget about its second effect. Everyone knows its first effect, which is pop 1 on my opponent's side of the field. But its second effect is, if it's destroyed by a by battle or by card effect, special summon 1 scrap non-synchro monster from my grave to my field. A lot of the time, you'll go into Beast, Goblin, or Golem. Most likely Golem, because Golem, if it survives next turn, you'll be able to synchro into another one of these, or into Scrap Twin. And Scrap Twin has the same second effect as Scrap Dragon, but its first effect is target 1 on my field, target 2 on my opponent's, destroy mine, and then send the 2 on their field back to the hand. Which means, if they have 2 face back row, send the back row, and then continue to poke for really big, because this is 3k, and then this is 28. With the new field spell, all scraps gain 200 attack and defense, which means this is 32 and this is 3k. It's pretty good. You end up with really big beat sticks. 2 Scrap Chimera, because 2 Scrap Archfiend, sorry. Chimera plus Goblin equals this, and this is probably the easiest way to pull this off. Black Rose, because field destroying. Stardust Radiance for protection. Regular Stardust for additional support. Star Eater, because I can do this. It's easy. I'll show you how later. Mistworm, and I'll show you how. It's actually really good tech. 2 Queen Dragon, and I'll show you its usefulness later. And then these are the placeholders right now. Cowboy and Maestroke. That is the extra deck. Now, I'm going to sort of go briefly into possible plays you can go into. Now, I told you that I ran Redox. Now, I'm going to show you one way you can do Redox right now. Now, let's say that you have... Let's say you have Scrap Dragon or Scrap Twin in your graveyard. They got destroyed. Let's say you got Darkhold and you had at least one on the field, and this one was like maybe 2 turns ago that got destroyed by some other monster. So let's just say you have Redox in hand, and let's say you have one too many Chimeras in hand. So what you do, you call that you reveal this. Send him to grave, and then special summon. And then you can proceed to normal summon. You can normal summon a second Chimera, use its effect, Special Beast. Use Scrap Twin effect, destroy this, send 2 cards on your opponent's side of the field, and then Beast's effect, add this to hand. And then you can use this for maybe Scrap Storm, or like basic death fodder if you want, or if you have another level 4 on the field, you can XCs, and you would most likely XCs into Queen Dragon. And Queen Dragon, its effect is you detach one, you can special summon one level 5 or higher dragon from your graveyard to the field. Its effects are negated, and it cannot attack for that turn. So if you have Scrap Dragon in the grave, you can special summon Scrap Dragon in defense, and then protect your other dragons, because other dragons cannot be destroyed by battle except for her. So they have to attack her first before they can attack these two. So you protect your monster for the turn. And I checked the ruling on Dragon. It negates the effects on the field. So if this card does eventually get attacked, let's say they attack Dragon first, so it goes to grave, and let's say they attack Scrap Dragon because it only has 2k defense. If they destroy it, its effect in grave still goes off, which means I can still special summon a scrap monster from my grave, which would probably be, where are you? Where are you? Where's my golem? That is weird. Anyway, you would special golem, and then you draw next turn, once per turn, use golem's effect, go into scrap beast, and then go into a second scrap twin. That is one. Those are some plays you can do. And then if you want, depending on your grave, you can be like, oh, banish. Oh, there's golem. You would be like banish, special summon Redox, use effect of golem, special summon, go level 7, special summon Star Eater. Or, depending on what your field was, you can go Chimera, normal summon Chimera, effect to special summon Beast. Well, okay, let me take that back. Let's say you got Scrap Dragon destroyed by some card effect last turn. Special summon Golem. You draw. Use the effect of Golem first. You special summon your Beast. Synchro into Scrap Twin. Then, you normal summon Chimera, go into Beast, and now you have your other Scrap Dragon. And you proceed to make your opponent waste their resources to try and get around these big monsters. Because as you saw earlier, I do have a lot of like counters to other cards like Lance, My Body, and other shit like that. But that is those are like the main ways to synchro, or just synchro spam. And then Redox, if you want, just special summon these back on the field. When I play Level Eater, the reason I play Level Eater is because these guys require resources to pop on the field, and if I have nothing on the field, then their effects become useless, and they just become beat sticks and very vulnerable to card effects and whatnot. So if Level Eater is in my graveyard, I'm sure you know what Level Eater does. You target a monster on the field that's level 5 or higher, it minus it 1 level, and then special summon on the field. So what you do is target one of them. Target, let's say, Scrap Dragon. It becomes level 7, special summon. Effect of Scrap Dragon, pop, goes to grave, and then pop a card on the field. And then, next turn, you'll be like, level 6, special summon. Rinse and repeat until it becomes level 4, which means you can target Scrap Dragon up to 4 times, and you can Scrap Twin up to 5 times, because this is level 9. So you can just constantly rinse and repeat, and then your opponent is like, stop it! Oh! And then, if you really wanted to, because you can't revive this anymore, you could be like, oh, this is level 4, normal summon Beast, use Level Eater on this, special summon, go into Mistworm, and then Redox, special summon, bring out this, because Mistworm, you have a new target now. So the deck kind of trolls. It's very powerful. It can be very explosive sometimes, but at the same time, it can be defensive, and it's very toolbox, which means you can do almost anything with this deck. But that is a lot of the deck situations, a lot of the deck strategy, a lot of the combos. When I get more of the stuff that I want for the extra deck, then it'll be a little bit stronger in terms of attack and defense. But that is the deck. I hope that you liked it. Feel free to share this profile with anyone else that is interested in looking into the deck. I hope that maybe this gave you some ideas of how to play scraps or how to play different decks in a different way.